What's happening, everybody? I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. Willie Mays, the great baseball star of prodigious power and grace, dies at the age of 93. According to the Washington Post, let me show you Willie Mays. That's him during his prime, one of the great African American pioneering baseball stars of his time. So, once again, Willie Mays, the baseball star of prodigious power and grace, has died at the age of 93. So let's impact this story according to the Washington Post. Willie Mays, a perennial all-star center fielder for the New York and San Francisco Giants in the 1950s and 60s, whose powerful bat, superb athletic grace, and crafty baseball acumen earned him a place with Babe Ruth atop the game's roster of historic greats, died June 18th. He was 93 years old. The San Francisco Giants announced his death on social media, but did not provide other details. Mr. Mays was the oldest living member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. If there was a guy born to play baseball, Boston Red Sox legend Ted Williams, one of his 1950s contemporaries, said late in life, it was Willie Mays. With such demigods as Jackie Robinson and Hank Aaron, Mr. Mays from Jim Crow era Alabama was one of the earliest black players to reach exalted heights in the formerly segregated major leagues. His body of work from 1951 to 1973 included 660 home runs, then the third most of all time, despite a nearly 2-year absence for military service. Baseball has had 150 plus players with higher career batting averages than Mr. Mays. There have been swifter base runners and a few more prolific sluggers over the decades, but Mr. Mays could do it all. The record book says no one showcased a more formidable combination of power, speed, and strength, wizardry with a glove, and steadily hitting than number 24 of the Giants, whom many regard as the best defensive center fielder ever. Most devotees of of hard baseball history consider Mr. Mays second to Ruth in the game's pantheon. Some rank Mr. Mays ahead of Ruth, an ace pitcher turned outfielder for the New York Yankees, who revolutionized the sport with his titanic bat in the Jazz era. Advocates for Mr. Mays argue that Ruth didn't possess Mr. Mays' all-around skills and never had to compete against black major leaguers. At 20, Mr. Mays was National League Rookie of the Year and helped the Giants reach the 1950 World Series. His 3,293 career hits, including 10 hits in the Old Negro American League that were added to his total in 2024, gave him a robust .301 lifetime average. He was named to 24 All-Star teams in 18 seasons, some in years when 2 such games were played. While a lot of sluggers were brawny and less than nimble in the field, Mr. Mays, listed on Major League's baseball website as 5'11" and 180 pounds, dominated opponents with his glove, legs with throwing arm, a miraculous catch he made in the 1954 World Series. Racing toward the center field wall with his back fully turned to the infield is among the most celebrated players in the annals of the sport. Starting in 1957, Mr. Mays won 12 consecutive Gold Glove Awards for defensive excellence in center field, the most spacious positions where quick reactions and fleetness of foot are paramount. He collected more gloves or more gold gloves than any other center fielder in history, even though the award didn't exist until his 5th full season. At the same time, his disruptive speed and guile as a base runner angered a revival of an undervalued aspect of the game. In the 1950s, a decade loaded with fearsome hitters, the small bat tactic of base stealing was mostly an afterthought. But not for Mr. Mays, the first player with 300 or more career home runs to also tally at the least 300 thefts. He swiped 339 bases. Only 7 others have done it since, although his yearly totals weren't jaw dropping by later standards. He stole more bases, 179, in the 1950s than anyone else in the majors. Willie Mays is the greatest player I ever laid eyes on, declared his first Giants manager, Leo Durocher, a teammate of Ruth's in the late 1920s. After Robinson broke baseball's racial barrier in 1947 with the Brooklyn Dodgers, Mr. Mays is 3 weeks out of his teens, became the 17th black player to arrive in the big leagues. He debuted from the New York Giants on May 25, 1951, and went hitless in 12 at-bats on the road. Then, in the first plate appearance at the Polo Grounds, the Giants' old ballpark in Upper Manhattan, he recorded his first hit, a towering poke that landed atop the left field roof, the New York Times reported. Counting the home run, Mr. Mays, a right-handed batter, began his career 1 for 26. A miserable stretch. I was crying, he recalled, almost 70 years later. I wanted to go back to minor league Minneapolis, but Durocher kept him in the lineup, insisting, "Son, you're my center fielder." After Mr. Mays found his stroke, he finished his rookie season with 20 homers and a 2.74 average. Matter of fact, let me show you some photos of Willie Mays. Check them out. That's a good one. And here's one. Mr. Mays signs autographs at an exhibition game in Oakland in 1952, credited the Associated Press. In scouting parlance, he emerged as a five-tool player with an exceptional abilities to hit for power, hit for average, run, field, and throw. Yet plenty of five-tool stars have come and gone. What made Mr. Mays' transcendence were the dazzling degrees to which he excelled in all five skills for the better part of 2 decades. Known for his full-throttle energy on the diamonds, his joy and brio, Mr. Mays was a headliner in the post-war golden era of New York baseball before the Giants and Dodgers decamped to San Francisco and Los Angeles to start the 1958 season. During that Gotham heyday, 1 or 2 of the city's 3 ball clubs, led by the dynastic Yankees, played in 10 World Series in 11 years. Wow, what a powerful feat that was, including 7 Subway Series, and each team featured a Hall of Fame bound center fielder. Willie, Mickey, and the Duke, the song goes. Mickey Mantle, and before him, Joe DiMaggio of the Yankees. Brooklyn's Duke Snider and Mr. Mays, who was a rookie, would often play stickball with youngsters in front of his Harlem rooming house. Afterward, he'd treat the kids to ice cream, then walk to work at the Polo Grounds. Snider, Mantle, and Mays, you could get a fat lap in any saloon by starting an argument, or a fat lip rather, in any saloon starting an argument as to which was best. Communist Red Smith reminisced in 1972. One point was beyond argument, though. Willie was by all odds the most exciting. In the outfield, where the durable Mr. Mays has compiled a record 7,095 puntouts. He caught a lot of balls unconventionally, holding his glove near his belt buckle for his signature basket catch. He admitted to wearing ill-fitting caps to ensure that he would run out from under them as he dashed around the bases or chased a long fly ball. Willie Mays, one of the all-time greats. And I'll bring you part 2 of this story on tomorrow. But for now, I'm Tyrone Bowman, baseball great Willie Mays, dead at the age of 93. Never surrender, never